Hi all, it's 2nd October 2021 today. I'm going to touch on Coinbase, money no more, Bitcoin, ETH, and other cryptocurrencies. Coinbase, not an unknown name. Before I proceed, appreciate a like if you like this video and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So what's Coinbase? It was founded in 2021 and it operates a cryptocurrency exchange platform that have over 9,000 financial institutions, over 10 million retail users, and more than 160,000 ecosystem partners using their platform. Recent quarter is impressive. Why? Coinbase make over 2 billion US dollar of revenue and over $1 billion of net income. I will touch on the numbers in greater details in later slides. And some of the key operating statistics. Per month is seeing more than 8 million transacting users and trading volume is 462 millions billions. And what's the selling points for Coinbase and what's the catalyst? Well-known figures like Elon Musk, Third Point are using Coinbase, and it's a one-stop service platform where people do trading, put their assets, cryptocurrency assets, on this platform for custody and lending and new generation and data, and it's a very high security and trusted brand. So where are the areas that can fund the future growth? The concepts like decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, smart contracts, decentralized autonomous organizations. So what's decentralized finance? It's a blockchain-based form of finance that does not rely on central financial intermediaries to offer the traditional financial instruments. So you don't need brokerages, banks, etc. to get financial instruments. That's a very powerful concept. With that, there will be less transaction costs and less costs involved when third party are involved. So decentralized autonomous organizations is an organization that are represented by rules and coded as a computer program that's transparent and not influenced by any central governments, and that in itself is very powerful, where no central party is controlling this, and people like the concept of freedom. And how to retain retail users' interest and loyalty. A lot more new use cases and growing familiarity of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, ETH, Dogecoin, what our dear Elon Musk has always been talking about, and blockchain rewards. You see, Coinbase offers rewards to their users, and through the online platform, there's education and newsletter that Coinbase have as a Coinbase Byte. Third point, Coinbase card, where people start to use Coinbase card to allow them to convert and spend crypto using in their account. That in itself is fantastic. And institutional businesses, what do? They grow their pie in this business, which is growing, and more transactions coming from institutional businesses. There's Coinbase Prime, where the prime brokerage solution that institutional funds use this platform to do trading and custody and financing. And there's a custody where people continues to have trust in this platform, reason being because Coinbase is a well-known name and they have very high regulatory and compliance requirements. And the third thing is they acquire skill, and more going forward in the future. Is a data analytics platform that professional traders are provided with aggregated data. And what's next? Financing business, offering bilateral lending and post-trade credit to institutional businesses. You see, there's so many engines of growth like retail and institutional funds, and even within each category, they have other subcategories. And ecosystem developer businesses, they have this Coinbase Cloud and USDC stablecoin. All these in itself are very attractive proposition to the developers and to the users. And this is the key operating statistics that I mentioned earlier. And what's noteworthy is that assets on platform exceeded 200 billion in Q1, and in Q2 came down slightly, potentially because of the correction in price in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But financially, they did not suffer. And in Q2, there's a spike in revenue going above 2 billion. That could be because those long-term bulls of cryptocurrencies will see that this is an opportunity to actually acquire and do more trading. And that's where the monthly transacting users spiked up from Q1. And net income grows up to above 1 billion, the first ever in its history. And seen from Q2 20, it's almost like 50 times its earnings. That's a tremendous exponential jump. Adjusted EBITDA is also above 1 billion. You see, for retail trading volume is grow, but what's more powerful is the institution volume spikes more than 40 and heading to close to 50%. So what's it? In Q2, they hit $462 billion of trading volume, and that's under a backdrop of weaker cryptocurrency prices in the last month of the quarter in June, where Bitcoin for a period hit as low as 28 to 30,000 USD. But of course, recently the price spiked out to above 40,000, and at one point in time, recent days, hit above 50,000. And one thing to note is that trading volume for Bitcoin and ETH still remains close to 50% for Coinbase users. And this is something that we have to take note. You'll see that despite higher trading volume, the assets came down in Q2. Like what I mentioned earlier, it's also a case of the weaker cryptocurrency prices backdrop. But nevertheless, trading volume is very resilient. Institutional funds are trading more, and more retail are trading even in greater volume. Then again, despite institution churning more trading volume, it's noteworthy that a significant percentage of revenue comes from retail. 1.8 billion out of 1.9 billion in Q2 make up more than 90% of the revenue. From total transaction revenue comes from retail. So it means that retail sentiment of cryptocurrency prices and whether do their long-term thesis that cryptocurrency is an asset to hold, will this thesis fall apart for them, plays a critical point in affecting Coinbase share price movement. That will say, because that will impact on revenue. But of course, they are also growing in terms of custodial fee and blockchain revenue, earn campaign revenue, and interest income revenue. But all these are still relatively small, at best growing at faster rate going forward. Operating expenses as percentage of net revenue is around 70%. Is Coinbase expensive or is it cheap? Short term wise, Coinbase price is likely to be swayed more by Bitcoin prices, ETH prices, and cryptocurrency prices. We have analyst price target from anything from 220 USD to 400 USD. What's current price right now? It's around 7 times price to sales. On price to earning basis, well, if we just analyze it to around 3.2 to 4 billion net income, assuming the retail traders still trade actively on cryptocurrencies, then this number itself will reflect around 15-16x of PE ratio. Is it expensive for a company that can continue to grow its revenue and net income at 30, 40, or 50% per annum? No, it's not expensive at all. So the question to ask is, do we believe in whether can transacting volume be so high and retail sentiments for holding such assets will remain unaffected in face of price volatility in cryptocurrency? This is a question to ask and think through. In the short term wise, cryptocurrency prices will affect trading decisions for Coinbase, and the upcoming regulations over cryptocurrency will likely impact on Coinbase price as well, because as more regulators are feeling a challenge that cryptocurrency may pose a threat to their currency, people will want to take a step back, potentially want to take a step back for Coinbase, because this price may be influenced by regulations and people may get scared. But if you are holding for a longer term and is bullish over the long term development of cryptocurrencies and what Coinbase is doing, and is definitely a market leader in this space, then there's support level price that we can look at to consider. So what's relative share pricing among Coinbase and Grayscale Bitcoin price? You'll see that Coinbase price in red is relatively volatile, but not as volatile as compared to Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Reason because Bitcoin experience an even higher price volatility. To note, Coinbase reference price at IPO is $250. Now it's around 231. It's around 9% below its reference price, and it's 47% below its all-time peak of 429 USD in April 2021. So is there upside? Should investor consider a position in Coinbase? Well, to me right now, the resistance price is around $268, and unless it can break it up strongly against this price level, then there may potentially be upside. If not, it will continue to range bound within 227 to 268, and if it cannot hold 227 USD, it may potentially break down lower to around its all-time bottom of 208. If it doesn't hold that level, it may even break lower, but of course this is dependent on what's the price sentiments of cryptocurrencies and whether trading activities of cryptocurrency will reside, as well as the general risk environment of the market. So what do I do right now? For me, I don't think there's a need for me to rush into Coinbase, although I cautiously optimistic about Coinbase, because I do believe cryptocurrency is an asset that investor may consider to hold 1 to 2% of their entire portfolio, not a big portion, because if it's wrong, the 1 2% of asset can be earned back through other forms of return per annum per year. But if it can develop further, it could be a 5 to 10x. As always, this should not be construed as any investment or trading advice. Thank you.